Good morning. We are at a very crowded parking lot. I had to park on the road. We are waiting for a shuttle to take us from Snow Lakes Trailhead up to Stewart Lake Trailhead. We are doing a pretty famous traverse in the Enchantments, which I'm excited about because everyone tells me it's so pretty. We're gonna go up over Asgard Pass, over past a ton of lakes. According to the track, it's an 18-mile hike with about 5,000 feet of vert up, and then we'll descend like 7,000 feet back to the car here. I got to do this in about 6 hours. I might have up to 7 hours to be able to get back to Seattle to catch my flight. So this could be a hectic day, but it's beautiful. It's 48 degrees. I was hoping it'd be a little warmer because it's going to be cooler up there. Well, I've just gotten dropped off. It's quite the party up here. There's a group of 5 or 6 that I met on the ride up, gave them my channel, so hopefully they watch this video and have a good hike. I'm gonna go on this trail for like, well, 5.5 up to Asgard Pass, and it was 8:41 start. We're over a mile in, maybe even like a mile and a half. Very cruiser so far, but that's gonna stop at some point. All right, so we're 2 miles in, Kolchak Lake Trail. Got a bang a left. Looks like the trail goes this way. Well, it's gotten much rockier and rootier up from Stewart Creek. Oh wow. This is the lake. Pretty gorgeous. I can see why people flock to this. It's the middle of the Blue Lakes by Mount Sneffels. Pretty epic views, and that's got to be the pass up there. I would think you just go up this steep sort of gully. That looks like the ticket. Probably not up that glacier. So we're wrapping around Kolchak Lake on not the best, not a very well-defined trail. It's an awesome picture there. So we're wrapping. It's kind of rocky, and now we're about to enter a big boulder field, but as you can see, there's monster cairns everywhere. Oh, I'm wrapping around, and I just found this little beach. Look at this. Nice. Look at this beach. Wow. This is pretty cool. I don't know why no one's here. I would camp right here if I were. There are footprints, so pretty awesome. Swim straight across this bad boy. Well, the ascent has begun. Straight up this gully. It's fine so far. Granted, I've only come up 150 feet. Pretty epic. There are literally people everywhere. Just keep picking off people. So we're getting there. It's steep class 2, but just class 2. Still hammering up. We're getting closer. Here's your lake view. Adventure, we're 2/3 of the way up. But yeah, Adventure, we've popped up 1,400 or 1,500 feet so far, and got 500 or 600 left here. But I could be way off. Just my Spidey altimeter estimating here. So it's great because I always have these targets of people to catch. So I think it's right up here. Look at the view of that lake now, baby. Woo! I think we're in our last couple hundred feet. think? Well, I think we've done it. I think we're at the pass. Now I can't even see the lake, so I'm gonna have to climb up on something. Asgard Pass. Oh, for those scoring at home, that was 2 hours and 27 minutes up to the pass, so even slower than I just said in the last video. So yeah, I was hoping I could do it in 2 hours. Definitely not happening. That would have been a really hard push. If the terrain were easier around the lake, then yes. So we're 2.5 hours, and hopeful we'll be down in 3.5. I brought 2 liters of water and 1 Bobo bar, so I feel like that's plenty, right? All right, here's your view of Kolchak Lake. And the last time you're gonna see it, down there. Nice shot. Epic. Sorry, I'm eating Tranquil Lake and Isolation Lake. Sorry. Lake Regenleaf, and then the big one that you're just starting to see is Isolation Lake. We're gonna be hitting lakes like non-stop here. So the trail, I think, goes over here. So you can just stop, and there's just lakes everywhere. This is Lake Ulrun and Lake Sigrun. Got our first snow crossing of the day. Crossing some deltas here. This is very like Sierras JMT-esque for sure. Just the lakes are much closer together, but similar scenery to the High Sierras. I assume this is part of the Cascades, but I'm honestly not sure if it's like a sub-range of the Cascades or if it's something different, like on its own. It's gotta be, but it's not. I mean, the mountains don't look volcanic, so can it be the Cascades? I'm not sure. Someone let me know. Someone will let me leave a comment, or someone will leave a comment, I'm sure, about that. I did not research the history of the Enchantments, why they're named that, but yeah, this is cool scenery. I like the jaggedness of a lot of the peaks. So just making our way slowly. We got probably less than 12 miles back to the car. So some of these little ones that are all connected are called the Briseman Lakes. So my apologies for not calling that out. There's just all sorts of water flowing everywhere, so it's not obvious what's a lake and what's not, and what's just some overflow and what's a creek. So they just all connect and flow into each other. We got plenty more to pass, and we got a toilet. I've seen a bunch of these toilet signs along the trail so far. This is like the 4th one, but I haven't seen an actual toilet. So I don't know if they're messing with me or not. So we are looking down to what's Crystal Lake, but we're going that away. So we will not go down by Crystal Lake, at least I don't think so. We can't move that quickly on some of this terrain, which is unfortunate because it's just so rocky and steppy. But this is Inspiration Lake, which I'm sure every state has a lake called that. And then the other one that I love, dude, what is that? Let's go climb that thing, that pointy spire. I don't know why I'm whispering. But I must say the trail's incredibly well marked. It is literally impossible to get lost for more than a couple seconds or a couple minutes, because not only are there markers everywhere and like footprints and use paths, there are people everywhere. I've passed like 200 people so far in 3 hours from the trailhead. That's not a joke. There are people literally everywhere. So we're descending down here. We're gonna wrap around this lake, and then Perfection Lake's over there, but pretty cool. Well, this is Perfection Lake, or the Perfection Lakes. I don't know if there's one or just more of them. Oh, never mind. Same lake still. Although it's really a different one. Our next lake's gonna be Leprechaun Lake, which is right up my alley. It sort of has a spindly look to it. Maybe it's like the leprechaun arms. But yeah, go Irish. Very pretty scenery. This definitely reminds me of the High Sierra country with all the lushness. We haven't hit any meadows yet. If you threw in a meadow or two, then it would just be like a perfect match with High Sierra country, but not yet. So anyway, hiking 101, these poles, the reason they're poles is because when it snows, then the poles will stick up above the snow, so it will still mark the trail and you can still see them. So, well, this is Leprechaun Lake. Can't really see the resemblance to a leprechaun. This is Lake Vivian. Tell you, this trail is not just like up and down and rocky. There's all sorts of baby little ups. We're talking like 10 or 20 feet. So you can never get moving. I think that's not gonna be till like way lower down, but here's your shot. I'm gonna take a picture of Lake Vivian. Well, look, we got some big boy, those might be the snow lakes. We got some big boy lakes, and we're starting to see our way down now. So we gotta get down fairly steeply here and then go past these lakes that we see. I must say, it's not the, we're on some bare rock. There were some rebar rungs in the rock, but like flat, so I think it's for traction. So this is the Lake Vivian from whatever side this is, the low side. This descent down to Snow Lake is pretty steep, climbing down just like steep gullies. All class 2, really. I mean, maybe easy class 3. So nothing crazy, but you definitely have to watch your step and be careful stepping down, especially when the rock is wet. All right, so this stretch down to Snow Lake reminds me of Cottonwood Canyon trailhead that I took to do the Crestones. Just a lot of big bare rock steps. Now you're in the woods, but it is leveling off. But then it dumps us out onto like a rock face, and you got to get down the slick rock. Here's Exhibit J here. So we're in the woods on a nice trail, muddy. I just completely stepped in a big mud hole. And then they hit you with this exposed rock to drop down. And it's generally pretty steppy, and you can see the cairns below. But if this were wet, this would be a disaster. So they built in, look at these little mini steps. They tried to build in like little, almost like Moki steps, but they don't really do much. We're gonna step down right here. So anyway, you just step down however you see fit. Well, here is Snow Lake, and what is that on the side that's like terraced? That's crazy. They did something to like the limestone or the granite, but pretty big lake. I thought we'd be able to view, but we're in the woods, so I just popped out so you could see it. But yeah, Snow Lake, not bad, pretty big. Here's another viewpoint, just a couple 100 yards further down the trail. Whew. Ugh. We'll figure it out. Dun, dun, dun. Nice. There's some snakes curled up. No idea. Yeah. Let me just sit. There you go. Is that good? Yeah. Nice. Ooh, yeah, just a moment. Wow, look at the view here. What lake is that? I don't know. Awesome. So gorgeous. Descending through this boulder field, although there's a pretty nice trail through it. I thought we'd just have to step on boulders, but no, there's a pretty nicely groomed trail through all this. Well, this is called Nada Lake, and it's pretty long. You can't see the extent of it, but it goes pretty long. It's probably like a mile long or something, if I had to guess. So yeah, we go around Nada Lake, and then I don't think there are any more lakes after that. I venture we have about 3 miles left. The trail's much smoother now, but it's not always down, as you can see right here. Yeah, no more ups. And it's warm. So, just cruising. Should be about 30 minutes to the car, I think. So I haven't looked at my phone, but I see a road. So I don't know if that's the road I'm going to. If so, we're not that far away. But we do have to drop a decent amount still. So maybe we only have like 2 miles or less. 1.5. Bunch of switchbacks down to cross the Snow Creek and then get up. Then we'll have to climb up to the car so I can see where the car is. It's just a decent amount of distance with all these switchbacks. Yeah. Hey. All right, that's it for the traverse. 6 hours, 2 minutes. I just missed the 6 hour mark. Oh well, a lot of miles down. But cool, very cool up high with all the lakes and the pointy peaks for sure. I mean, it looks very similar to other things. So that's a wrap. Just over 6 hours. I wish I would have known the time. I would have pushed it and gotten under, but it's all good. I'll have plenty of time to get back to Seattle pending an accident or a flat tire.